Yeah, we have one more question, and it's can specific verticals within a business be segmented and sold and or purchased from a company?
Absolutely. There's a lot of planning that needs to go around that,
Hmm.
right? So oftentimes what people will do is a lot of commingling. So you've got, let's say, 50 employees, and you're using all 50 employees to support all your business units, right? So a buyer coming in and buying off a piece of that company, they're going to start thinking like, what employees do I need to run that company? So in my opinion, you would want to prove out years in advance that each one of these units can run separately, right? So we're doing this right now. We're going through a lot of planning with one of our clients who's going to sell, no doubt, for multiple nine figures. And they have various different verticals. They're all connected in kind of the same market, but they're different verticals in that market. We have segmented each one of those verticals in their own LLC. We've got the employees who are managers and anyone doing technical jobs are segregated in each vertical. They've got their own payroll. But because they're basically running this whole sort of enterprise, there's something called enterprise liability. So we want to stay away from that. You don't want to be accused of enterprise liability. But because each one of these verticals are being run by the same C-suite, the same CEO, the same chief operating officer, we created an entity that was separate from that, kind of a C-suite entity, sort of like a private equity entity that employed that C-suite. And those C-suites are being leased over to these different verticals to help run it.
Hmm.
The concept behind that is if one of these were peeled off, which probably will happen, they're going to have their own C-suite. The buyer, they're going to be able to put in their own chief operating officer. They're going to be able to put in their own CEO. And to the extent that they want to keep some continuity, then they'll just put them under an independent contractor agreement anyways. That's often what they do with key people that they're going to sort of have only stay around for 12 months. So it makes it very easy. And then they're also keeping their books separate. And so that's the other thing that's going to happen. If you're commingling everything, but the idea is that I'm going to sell off or peel off a piece of it, now you've got financials that are all commingled. And so they've got to figure out like, where did this revenue come from? Where should this expense be booked to? And so you really need to do some planning well in advance if you're going to do that strategy of peeling off certain verticals, and make sure that you're running it in a way that it's easy for the buyer to come in and just buy one vertical over the other. And you can still do consolidated financials. You can still look at how the overall portfolio of companies is doing. You still got the same common C-suite that's running each of these verticals, but there's definitely some planning that needs to go into that. And that's something that we're doing often with a lot of different clients that are in our program.